back. We got another project bike, and this one has been done actually for quite a while. It's been sitting in my garage, and I've been unable to ride for over 4 months with a little hand issue, and finally cleared to go back to doing some fun things and hopefully back to work. So say goodbye to the beard. But this is my bike. So I obviously have been pouring a lot of extra love into this thing and wanted to build kind of the perfect machine for me. And I really love this 23, 24 YZ450. Just comfortable. To me, it's the best production 450 I've ever ridden, just in stock form. So I didn't want to get too carried away, and I really didn't. This is the same suspension off of my bike from last year. We just bolted it right on. We did have to take the spring off. We powder coated it white just to match. So we did have an issue with the sag early on. I didn't know that it was off. So a lesson to always check your sag. Wasn't handling, didn't feel good at all. I'm like, man, something's going on. And we checked the sag, it was way off. So, and then the only other performance thing we really did was a Pro Circuit exhaust, Tie 6 system. And we learned a little bit something about that too, which we'll share. But the rest of this build was really just comfort and sort of aesthetics and make it feel and look how I wanted it to. And with Yamaha having their 50th anniversary of the YZ line, this was sort of my version with the help from the guys at SKDA. I gave them sort of a color scheme and a concept, and man, they, like usual, those guys crushed it. Just to me, this is a pretty nice looking kind of throwback to the 80s Yamahas that were red and white, but with a little bit of a modern flair. So I love it. I think it came out so cool looking. SKDA Concepts built the seat cover for us. Like I said, SKDA did the graphics. We have Flow titanium foot pegs. These things are amazing. Super good platform. They're really wide. If you have a bigger foot, you're looking for kind of a bigger platform, these things are incredible. They also make aluminum ones, but these are their really high-end stuff. And then a lot of it is just works connection, bar clamps, Nihilo Concepts, frame tape, lever grip. We have an hour meter on here from Nihilo Concepts. I have a secondary on switch, just it hasn't been installed yet, but I'm going to put that on. I really like those products. And then if you start looking really close, we have a Pro X chain and sprocket, and it's the stock wheels. If you're wondering about the red stickers, those are made by SKDA. You can ask those guys for that. In fact, they're going to sell this kit, a version of it. Obviously, you can put your own logos and things into it, but this kit will be for sale at SKDA. And it came, we asked them just for something on the rims like that to tie in the color. And so these are stock rims with just the red stickers. And then a lot of, one of the things we also did, ODI Grips, it's stock bars. SKDA made this custom bar pad for us. It goes with an ODI bar pad. And then I also, we got the clutch cover here from Hinson. It's just a standard clutch though. I'm pretty easy on clutches, so I didn't really feel it was necessary to put a stiffer clutch, bigger clutch in it. Stock one's good for me, but the cover looks nice. And then the plug kit is from Works Connection. You can see the case saver over here that's carbon. That's from Lightspeed. Willie makes really cool products for these. That's the only thing I've got on here for now. But if you start paying attention to all the nuts and bolts on this, my foot peg mounts, foot peg pins, and pretty much every nut and bolt on this bike is titanium. This was a kit that they sent us from Race Tech Titanium last year. And I didn't get a chance to build it all because it was late in the season. I said, I'm going to save it for my 24. And because I had so much time with this, we threw it in. And man, it looks so nice. This stuff is such a nice finishing touch to a project. And really, really well done. Just all of the little holes drilled in each one. And it's beautiful. So check out Race Tech Titanium if you guys are in the market for that. And Motul oils throughout. I mean, that's kind of our go-to, and ETS fuel. And that's really it. It wasn't a lot of stuff. We have MX33 tires on this because, like I said, way back when we built it, the MX34 was just coming out. They didn't have enough of them, so we just ran the 33s. So that is one change I will make, is to get MX34s on here. But other than that, I kind of know I'm going to like this bike, or knew that coming into the day, because I love it. I loved it last year. It's the same suspension. I really didn't make any changes other than these pegs. White grips instead of black that I had last year. I mean, like just basic things. And it was just as impressive as I remember it being. This bike, and I talk about this in our intro when we first rode the bike, and then again on our race spec video. Sag is so important, and I'm right at about 99 millimeters. You put too much sag in this, it doesn't work. It just doesn't work. That's all I can tell you. You don't have enough, you're at 95, 96, it'll be terrible too. It's crazy how much that sag affects this motorcycle. And I would try anywhere from 98 to 102, kind of based on what your riding style is. But it's a little bit less sag than kind of what's become the norm, 103, 105. You definitely want less than that. So just a little heads up for what it's worth. On the track, I definitely felt the horsepower gains of this exhaust, and it was almost a little much for this track. It's kind of tight. It's a hill track. We've had so much rain. I just figured, let's go have some fun out in the hills while we can. And it's tight and a little technical, and it's almost, this is so much motor, it's hard to ride. And I did notice this even with my last year's bike. When you throw an aftermarket exhaust on these, they will have like a decel pop. It gives them a little bit of a lean condition, and you've got to go in and change that through the mapping. Jamie over at Twisted Development told me to, I actually called him today. He's like, bring it in, we can fix it. It's an easy fix, just a quick little flashing of the stock ECU or a setting, and it'll fix it. So have somebody that knows what they're doing. If you're going to add any kind of aftermarket stuff, it would behoove you to go and have your ignition, your mapping kind of tuned to that. It's just, it changes it enough that you'll notice it. And for me, that decel pop's just annoying. It doesn't really change the way it works, just annoying. But the Öhlins suspension worked great. Like I said, super comfortable bike for me. I love the way that it turns. I love how nimble it is. I feel really comfortable on it. You know, I will say one other little thing is I probably cut this chain a little too short. I was in a spot where I could either cut an extra link out and the wheel would be all the way forward, or I left it in and it would be pretty far back. And I thought, man, I'm gonna have this thing super stretched out, and not thinking that this bike is pretty reactive. I would have been better having it all the way back. So keep that in mind. If you're putting a chain on one of these, run it as far back as you can. It will give this thing a little more stability. And really, it's not so much the stability that I like, but the further forward I'm bringing it, it's really wanting to wheelie on me. And so if you think about that, you bring that wheel back and it doesn't take much. You'll start to put a little bit more weight on, you know, front wheel bias on it, and it won't wheelie as much. So if you find yourself wheeling out a lot of turns, that's an easy fix. Put a chain on, new chain on, and extend that wheel back a ways. Right now, I'm really far forward, and I can feel, man, I've got to be laid up on the front to keep the front wheel down. So just something to think about that I've found with these Yamahas that's helps the handling, is to try to get the axle as far back as you can in the swing arm. So just a little nugget I'll throw out there for you guys. I had a blast riding this thing, and I would have probably been having a blast on an old Hidaka out here. I haven't ridden in a while, so it feels so good just to twist the throttle and throw some roost. I'm having a blast, and it's good to be back. And yeah, you'll see me at the track with this bike, hopefully quite a bit. I love it. Thank you to all the companies. I also want to mention, you know, these Works Connection, like the caps for the front brake here. He put my name in them. You can put your name, number. That's all something, the customization that Works Connection does. It's really cool. So check those guys out. I didn't mention that and I wanted to. So thank you to everybody involved. SKDA, thank you so much. Pro Circuit, Dunlop, Pro X, Seat Concepts, ODI, Works Connection, everyone that chipped in, man, I really appreciate it. I love this bike. I'm going to have a blast on this year. So thanks for watching, guys. As always, if you like this video, you like what you're seeing, like it, subscribe, share it, comment, do all the things, you know. We'll see you next time.